Hi, I'm Winnie. So for today's lab pH video, I'm going to demonstrate two parts, which is the first part related with the household chemicals with the litmus paper to test the pH of the household chemicals, while the second part, which is by using the fruits of vegetables to check the current had passed through the fruits. So for the first part of the experiment, I'm going to test by using 5 different household chemicals and use litmus paper to test their pH, while the second part of the experiment, I will be using 3 different fruits or vegetables that represent alkali, acid, and also neutral. So for the first test, I'm going to do the 5 household chemicals that I'm going to use. So for the first one, I'm going to test by using this makeup remover. Okay. I'm going to test by using the first litmus paper. So dip the litmus paper completely into the cleansing water, or also known as the makeup remover. Okay. So now we can actually test the color change. Okay. So I will be comparing with this. Okay. So it is about pH 5. Okay. So now I'm going to test by using shampoo. So I'm going to test it by using the litmus paper. Okay. Wait for a while. So this is the color change. We are going to compare it with the universal indicator color. So it is pH 7 for shampoo. So now I'm going to test by using antibacterial disinfectant. going to test it by using litmus paper. Okay, this is the color change. Can test. Okay. Okay, I think it's more to pH 9. So pH for the disinfectant is pH 9. And now I'm going to test by using perfume. I'm going to use litmus paper. So for this color, for the color change, it is pH 6. So now I'm going to test by using the hand wash solution. Okay. I test by using litmus paper. So now let's observe the color change. Comparing with this color, it is pH 5. Oh. So for the reading of the orange, .0. Okay. Now the second reading, 12.9. While the third reading, 12.9. So now I'm going to test with potato. The first reading is 3 point. Yeah. So the first reading is 3 point. So for the first reading is 6.2 ampere. While for the second reading, 6.5. While for the third reading, 6.6. Now I'm going to test the experiment by using banana. So for the first reading of banana is 1.7 ampere. The second reading 1.5, and the third reading is 1.6 ampere. So these are the results for the part 2 experiment, which is the pH sensor experiment that used to determine or identify the relationship between taste and current. So we all know that orange has an acidic taste, potato is neutral, and banana is alkaline taste. So three different fruits that we used in this experiment actually will have a different average of current produced. So for orange we know that it is an acidic properties because we will taste sour when we actually eat orange. So the pH of orange are actually below pH 7. So it means that it has an acidic properties. So we can actually relate about the pH of the fruit with the average current. So we know orange is an acidic property, has an acidic properties, and the average current of an orange obtained is the highest, which is 12.9 ampere compared with potato and banana. So when actually the acidity of a fruit is higher, so it means that the average current will actually smaller. So in the case of orange, we know that when acidity of the orange is actually quite low, then the average current of orange is quite high. So like the pH and also the average current of the fruit is actually inversely proportional with each other. So next, for potato, we know that potato is a nearly neutral vegetable that have a pH of about 6 or 7. So the average current that obtained in this experiment for potato is 6.4 ampere, which is in the middle between orange and also banana. While for the last fruit, which is banana, it is considered as an alkaline fruit. So it has the average current, which is the lowest one, which is 1.6 ampere. So we can actually relate that food which like orange are more acidic, because when something is like more acidic means that the pH is smaller, and it means that the percentage of hydrogen ion concentration is actually greater. So I think when orange, which is an acidic fruit, have a greater hydrogen ion concentration compared with potato and banana, so it is the reason why causes the average current of the orange will be the greatest compared with potato and banana, which do not have a very high concentration of hydrogen ion compared with orange. So yeah, that's all from me.
Hi, my name is Tan Hui. In this video, I'll be conducting pH experiment. The experiment consists of two parts. For part 1, conventional methods of measuring pH, 5 household chemicals and litmus paper will be used. While for part 2, the pH sensor experiment, 3 types of fruits or vegetables, a multimeter and chipboard screw will be used. For part 1 experiment, I'll be using hand cream, contact lens solution, perfume, mouthwash, insect repellent, a small plastic container, and 5 litmus paper to carry out the experiment. The first chemical that will be tested is hand cream. Now, I'll put some hand cream in the plastic container. Then I'll dip the litmus paper into the hand cream. Wait for around 30 seconds. This is the result for hand cream. The next household chemicals is contact lens solution. Now I'll pour some contact lens solution into the plastic container which has been rinsed and let dry before. Then dip the litmus paper into the solution and wait for 30 seconds. This is the result for contact lens solution. The next one is perfume. The plastic container was rinsed and let dry after being tested with each of the household chemicals. Now I'll spray some perfume into the plastic container. Then dip the litmus paper into the perfume solution. Wait for 30 seconds. Then I proceed with the mouthwash. Now I will pour some mouthwash into the plastic container. Again, dip the litmus paper into the mouthwash solution and wait for 30 seconds. The last one is insect repellent. Now I will spray some insect repellent into the small container. Then dip the litmus paper into the solution and wait for 30 seconds. This is the result for insect repellent. These are the results for each of the household chemicals. Now, I'll be moving on to the second part of the experiment. Here are the three types of fruits or vegetables that will be tested in the experiment, which is lemon, papaya, and bitter gourd. The multimeter and the screws are also used in the experiment. First, I will set up the multimeter. Now I'll begin the experiment with lemon. First, I'll put the two screws into the lemon. Then, the current for the lemon can be tested by touching the screws. Wait until the reading is stable. The first reading is 15.6. I'll repeat touching the screws 3 times to take 3 readings. The second reading is 15.8. The third reading is 15.8. The next one is papaya. I will repeat the steps as in the lemon part. The first reading for papaya is 7.5. The second reading is 7.1. The third reading is 6.5. Then the last one is bitter gourd. The first reading is 9.5. The second reading is 9.1. The third reading for bitter gourd is also 9.1.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nur Izlin binti Zulkifli, and today I would like to discuss more about the second lab experiment, which is pH. For the first part is the pH with several household chemicals that I will conduct in my home. And the second part is the electric current that has go through inside the fruit. So let's get started with the first part, which is the household chemical part. So for the first chemical household that I use is the vanilla extract. So the first thing to do is put the vanilla extract liquid in the bowl. And put the litmus paper inside the liquid and see what's the color changes. So based on my observation from the litmus paper, the pH for the vanilla extract is 4. My next chemical household is the perfume. So let's get started with, we put the perfume inside the bowl. And we take the new litmus paper and we put it inside the perfume. And we wait for the color to change. So based on my observation, the pH for the perfume is 6. So my next chemical household is the vinegar. So let's put the vinegar inside the bowl. And take the new litmus paper and put it inside the bowl. And wait for the color to change. So based on my observation on the vinegar, so the pH for the vinegar is 1. So my next chemical household is the liquid dishwasher. So we start with pour the liquid dishwasher into the bowl. And take the new litmus paper and put it inside the liquid dishwasher. And wait for the color to change. So based on my observation on the liquid dishwasher, the pH for the liquid dishwasher is 6. So my next chemical household is this detergent. Firstly, we put the detergent inside the bowl. And take the new litmus paper and put it inside the detergent. And wait for the color to change. So from my observation, the pH for the detergent is 7. Okay, so let's continue to our next part of experiment, which is to measure the current inside the fruits. So here I have 3 different fruits, which is kiwi, lemon, and also rose apple, or we Malaysian know it is as a jambu ai. So let's start with our first fruit, which is the kiwi, and we take 3 measurement of the reading to calculate the average of the reading that we get. So the first reading of the kiwi is 2.2 ampere. And the second reading is also 2.2 ampere. And the last reading of the kiwi is 2.0 ampere. So next, let's continue with the lemon. So the first reading of the lemon is 2.5. The second reading of the lemon is 2.4. And the last reading of the lemon is 2.4. So my last fruit that I use is the rose apple, or in Malaysian we known as jambu ai. So we do the same thing as we did from the lemon and kiwi just now. So the first reading for the rose apple is 0.9. And the second reading of the rose apple is 1.1. And the last reading of the rose apple is 1.2 ampere. you.